I am Karen Thaxton. Welcome to Live the Pickleball Life. It usually happens several times a year that somebody on our home court will be talking about tendonitis, and fingers start pointing in my direction from the people who were there when I went through my tendonitis nightmare. So I wanted to share that with you in an effort to educate you about what led up to the tendonitis, what perpetuated the extreme pain that I ended up being in, and hopefully get you to avoid some of the mistakes, the stubbornness and the downright stupidity that happened on my part, so that you don't have to go through what I went through. And I went back into my calendar and looked up all the dates and whatnot so that I could be sure to get this right. August of 2021, I decided that my backhand was too weak and my overhead slams were too weak, and I wanted to be more forceful with those. So without looking up any YouTube videos about how to accomplish that, without asking any of the players on my home court who were playing at a higher level than I was and who were doing what I wanted to do, I just decided that I was going to do it whatever came naturally. Didn't really think about it, didn't give it any thought. So with completely bad form, I was pretty much using all elbow effort with my backhand. There was no shoulder involved in it. And the same with the overhead. It was just up and down with my elbow. No, complete overhead or complete shoulder work or follow through or any of the other stuff that comes along with doing it properly and using good and safe form. And I began to notice that this muscle in the top of my forearm and a little bit down here began to hurt. So I asked a friend who is also an occupational therapist, what's up with this? What do you think? And didn't tell her anything about what I had been doing. None of that. So a very general question. And she said, be careful that you're not squeezing your grip too tight. Well, of course I was. I was trying to hit more forcefully and doing it wrong. So I wasn't getting the result I wanted. And she, told me some stretches to do. And in between points, when you have a side out or something, you can hang your arm down or switch so you can release your grip. Hold your paddle in your non-dominant hand for a few seconds and things like that. So I did that for a little bit and it did seem to help. And I kept on playing and the pain kept getting worse. And I thought, well, I just have to work through this. When I started playing, probably at this point, 3 years ago, something like that, I had serious issues with my ankles and they gave me quite a fit. And worked through that, found the proper shoes and whatnot, and pulled through, kept on going. Then I had issues with my back. Not a new injury because of pickleball, something that I'd had previously, but pickleball and moving certain ways and different types of strokes I was trying to do all caused pain in my back. So I worked through that, and it was just one thing and then the next. So I thought, okay, round 3, here goes my arm. I kept playing and the pain began to get worse from here and was now all the way down to my wrist. And between here and here was really more of a burning, tingling feeling. It was just horrible. I could not lift anything up this way. I couldn't pinch anything with 3 fingers, no pump bottles, no aerosol sprays, none of that. If I had to reach up in a cabinet in the kitchen to pull something down, that was very painful. And if you lay your hand just gently on the top of your arm, on the big muscle on your forearm, and you move, you pump like this, you can feel these tendons pulling. And if you try to pick up something, you can feel on both sides and the muscle is contracting and whatnot. So all of this is connected and it hurt badly. but I had no pain in my elbow. So it never once dawned on me that this might be tendonitis, pickleball elbow, tennis elbow, whatever you want to call it. Couldn't get on the keyboard hardly at all anymore because all of that is moving all of this. And aside from the pickleball court, my job in the real world involves me being on the computer all day long. So that was very difficult to do. And on October 19th, I think this all started, I didn't write the exact date in August. I think this started maybe the middle of August. So 2 months later of allowing this to go on and on, I end up first thing in the morning on a Monday in urgent care because I just cannot take the pain anymore. It is so bad. As I said in the beginning, stubbornness and stupidity. Please don't allow pain to continue in your body until you think you just want to amputate a limb to get rid of it, because it was really idiotic on my part. The doctor in the urgent care is feeling around and she's pressing, you know, right here where doctors press and on both sides, and she's moving around and going up here and whatnot. And nope, no pain, nothing. Never had any pain in my elbow. So she calls it a strained muscle and puts me in a sling for a week and says, if you don't absolutely have to use your right arm for anything, don't. Just give it total and complete rest. So that's what I did. And she said if it didn't get any better in about a week, to go see an occupational therapist, an orthopedic doctor. 2 weeks went by and I went to see a new doctor that was just a general practitioner. We had changed, and I was doing the new patient visit and what have you, and doing blood. Well, I walk in a sling, so of course he's asking questions, and I tell him my sad story, and he said, okay, here are some anti-inflammatories, and you want to do ice, and of course continue to rest it, and you know, blah blah blah, let me know if it doesn't get better in 2 weeks. He agreed that it was a strain, and he had poked around in my elbow and whatnot, and still all this time later, still no pain. That was November 4th. November 30th, still not any better. Went to a massage therapist, and she did a massage and also a treatment called Beamer, which supposedly infuses oxygen into your muscles and tendons and whatever. Didn't do a thing for me. Some people get awesome results with that. Did not work for me. January 28th, I'm still dealing with this. And I finally break down and said, okay, general practitioner, please refer me to a sports orthopedic doctor. And I do want to stress that if you are seriously playing pickleball, you're not just doing it every other now and then, but you're out there a lot, that you do want to see a sports orthopedist and not just a regular orthopedic doctor if you should ever need one. And she took one look at it. She felt, you know, had me spread my fingers apart and, you know, move it this way. And she's feeling down here and up here, but back here as well. And immediately said tendonitis. And I went, but my elbow doesn't hurt. And she said, but everything connected to your elbow hurts. And it did. So she first set me up with occupational therapy and physical therapy, which was stretches and exercises and things of that nature. Didn't do a whole lot of good. Infusion therapy, there's a name for it that I've never been able to properly pronounce, but it looked sort of like a miniature jumper cable gizmo with the, is it dimethicone, I think was the medicine they put, the anti-inflammatory they put, and they put it on a pad, and they put the pad on my arm, and they connect it to the little electrodes and flip the switch. And supposedly it infuses that medication directly into the muscle that was in fact strained because of all the stuff that I'd done. So, but that we did that 3 times. Didn't do any good. Did massage therapy. Nope. And then she finally said, the physical therapist I was working with said that a woman in her office had wonderful results with laser therapy. Some people call it cold laser therapy. Some people call it low level light therapy. There are lots of different names. So I went on February 8th to a chiropractor on the other side of the city, 40 minutes away, one way, and talked to him and did a session and whatnot, and decided to do some of the cold laser treatment. And I did see improvement. I did see some improvement, but we couldn't quite get past the spot that we were at. We made improvement and then we stopped seeing improvement. So I did a little bit of research and discovered that there are different kinds of lasers. They're not all the same. So I searched online and found a chiropractor's office that was only 11 miles from me, and had a consultation and a session with her. Their laser was a different type of laser, and it was stronger than the one that the first chiropractor used. Now, this type of laser treatment is also available in hospitals and physical therapy offices, but they're just starting to pick up on it. If I would have been able to find a physical therapy office who had this type of laser, my insurance would have covered it. But because I was going to a chiropractor's office, even though it was the same exact laser, I had to pay for it out of pocket. So, helpful tip of the day: if you decide to try cold laser therapy, low level light therapy, something like that, see if you can find it at a PT office instead of a chiropractor's office. So I did this until May 14th was my last session, and walked out and was able to slowly work myself back to playing right-handed. I say back to playing right-handed. I don't think I've told you yet. During this whole time, I was not about to sit out all these months. So I was teaching myself to play left-handed, and it was not pretty, especially in the very beginning. I have some really kind and patient pickleball friends at my home court who put up with me. It was worse than playing with a 2.0, because I knew what I was supposed to be doing, and I knew what my brain was telling my left arm to do. My left arm would just sit there and go, huh? Because it was pitiful. So I did manage to be able to keep the serve and be able to have the ability to catch some wide shots here and there and whatnot. So it ended up being something worth doing, although I would have rather not done it for 8 months or whatever the total amount was. So I think it was around June 1st of 2021 that I started playing full-time right-handed again, and was so excited I couldn't believe it. And all of this because I didn't want to stop playing for 1 week or 2 weeks because my arm started hurting. I didn't think about researching correct form so that I didn't hurt myself when I was trying something new to begin with. And these are the things that I really want to stress, especially if you're trying to get more power out of the ball. There are other ways to do it than just with joint action, just your elbow or just your wrist. You know, if you're trying to flick balls at the volley line or something like that, when you're in the middle of a battle, look that up. There are videos about form and playing pickleball all over the internet. Ask people who have good form and who are doing what you want to do, and see if they'll show you how they're doing it. And you can avoid a lot of injury and a lot of pain. 8 months, 8.5 months from beginning to end, because I didn't want to sit out for a week or two, because in the very beginning when it started hurting me, because I didn't want to take the time to research and do it right. If you have questions about anything that I've said here, if you have questions about something that I didn't say when it came to my tendonitis story, I'm happy to answer them. Just leave your comments below and I will get back to you. I've connected with a lot of people who are playing in pain. I do wear a compression sleeve when I pray, not when I pray. And I'll probably do that for the rest of my life, just for preventative purposes. And I can tell if I'm getting too elbowy and not using my shoulder enough, because it will, in the crook of my elbow there, it will begin to hurt. And I can also feel it in this muscle up here, and the compression helps a lot. That compression sleeve keeps me on the court every time. It's a Body Helix is the one that I personally think is the best. And there's a video where I go through the types of sleeves that I've used before and what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them. So you can find that here at Live the Pickleball Life as well. But if you have questions, if you want to talk about your tendonitis story, or you think you have it, or how you got over it, everybody has a different way, please leave a comment below in the comments section, and I'm happy to talk about it with you. I'm Karen Thaxton with Live the Pickleball Life. Hope you have a great day on the courts.